Now, answering your questions about the law and legal issues. This is Legal Break with attorney Gary Bruce.
And I'm Maureen Akers. Welcome, Gary.
Good morning. Good
Yes.
to be here.
Glad to have you.
Thanks.
Today's question, Gary, how long do I have to file a personal injury claim after a car wreck?
All right. So we're going down our Google questions still. But the word claim is the interesting one to me.
Yeah.
So that makes it different than just filing a lawsuit. Filing a lawsuit is governed by the statute of limitations, which each state defines as the period of time from the date of injury to the date, or the date of the neglect, to the date of when you can file. So it's generally 2 years in Georgia and Alabama, generally 2 years, but it can be less, and a claim changes everything.
Yeah.
So I've seen it happen on property claims in a contract with an insurance company. You may only have 1 year. Generally, you might have 4 years under state law to file a claim for damage to your personal property. But some contracts say you have 1 year to do that under the contract. So you've got to read your insurance company contract, and then that will tell you how long you have to file a claim, which may be different than the statute of limitations. And I don't even want to get into, we've talked about it before, but notice to a municipality, notice to a county, notice to a city, notice to a state or the federal government, those are all different time frames. You really, if you have a case that involves filing a claim against a government entity, you've got to talk to a lawyer, because I have to look it up every time, just to be sure, but they change. There's a difference between notice and filing. So this is like too much for 3 minutes.
Right,
okay? It's a lot.
So on filing, are there any exceptions to the statute of limitations?
Yeah, so that's the deal, that's the law. The law establishes a rule, and then once you have a rule, like anything, there's always exceptions, right? Because fairness dictates you can't just have one rule generally. So there are exceptions to the statute of limitations that I think we've talked about before, but generally in Georgia there's one that relates to a crime. So if you're the victim of a crime, that can toll the statute to give you more time to file a lawsuit. If you're active duty military or the defendant is active duty military, that can change the statute of limitations and the time you have to file the lawsuit. And there are other exceptions that, that's why you have to talk to somebody about it. If you're not within the 2 years, you got to talk to somebody about filing it, because there may be exceptions that still allow you to bring a lawsuit.
Okay, all right, all very good information.
Thank you.
Gary.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you on the next Legal Break.